This is a WKYT podcast.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Conversations with Victor and Andrea.
Hello.
You doing all right?
I'm good. Okay, so I want to just jump right into it because
Okay,
you
let's
have
go.
big life news.
Oh, yes. This will be the first podcast to come out since I'm switching shifts.
I know, and this is currently, I guess it's bittersweet for you, but this is your very last day. This is your last weekend
Yes, we are
shift.
recording this on Sunday, and you all are listening to this on Wednesday. So this was, it was, it's both, I'm excited, I'm happy to make this switch, but it's also sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, I love working with Lauren and Adam. I consider them two of my best friends here at the station. And just in life, really. I mean, I talked to them about stuff, so.
Well, I know I came in and asked you. I was like, are you excited? Are you sad? And you're just like, yes, all of the above, which I get. I mean, you spend so much time with these people, so it makes sense. And you'll still see them, obviously, but it's not the same.
It's not. That's the other thing. It's not because we will all be in the news. Lauren sits right across from me. Adam sits next to me, so we'll see each other. But it's different than spending 2.5 hours, next to each other on the desk and in between commercials and everything. So, while we were doing the Facebook Live afterwards, I felt myself
Did you
start
tear
to get
up?
a little emotional. I was like, okay, let's change the
Honey.
subject because I don't. There's no crying in the news.
There's no crying in baseball.
So yeah, that is my big news. I am going to anchor the 4 o'clock show. So every day from 4 to 4:30, you'll be able to watch me and Amber. I'm very excited to join her. I got to do a lot of filling in while Sam was gone recently, and I enjoyed that. And we
I guess that was your trial run that you didn't know.
I did. Yeah, I didn't know it at the time, but I think Amber knew. But apparently that was kind of just a trial run to see how it worked out with me.
You must have done very well.
I think I did all right.
Because we rarely get to hear, like, if we do something well, we don't hear anything about it. You know what I mean? I remember when I first started working here, I was like, well, no one's said
anything, I guess.
No one said anything, so I'm assuming if I was doing poorly, I would be informed about
I
it.
still have a job, so I
right,
guess it's
exactly.
going all right.
But, that was my first shift here. I was
were telling
originally
me.
going to anchor the 4 and the 6:30 newscast, which hadn't even started at that point. And I was with Amber. Amber was my first co-anchor here at the station. And, then I moved to morning. So I was off that shift really quickly and just never fully appreciated
You were telling
the
me
hours.
how good.
I know. I was
that's the
just
thing.
like, eat it up.
Normally when you're anchoring Monday through Friday, you're either getting in here at 3 in the morning, or you're getting in here at 2:30 in the afternoon and staying all night.
Right.
Whereas I will actually be able to do a Monday through Friday kind of semi-normal shift, but still anchor. So
It's going to be great for your family, for sure.
My wife is very excited,
I
very
bet.
thrilled to not have an alarm go off at 4 a.m. on Saturday. It's going to be pretty nice. So yeah, I'm excited for that. You just think about how many, especially when you're working weekends, how many events and stuff that you either have to miss or just kind of show up for late, or just be tired.
Right,
You
exactly.
You go, well, I come out to, at 7:30 at night to the bar and then or to the restaurant, and then suddenly you're at the table just trying to keep from dozing,
Falling asleep. Yeah. That's true. Well, I'm very happy for you. I can't wait. I can actually watch the 4 o'clock. I can stay up for that one, so I'll have to check you out.
Well, that's what Mom
See how
said too.
you're
Yeah,
doing.
she said, "Oh, I'll actually be able to see you now," because normally she works overnights on the weekends, so she kind of basically gets off just in time to watch our Facebook Live stuff. So yeah, I'm excited. It'll be it's gonna be some work. I'll still be reporting and then coming back and anchoring. So
Yep.
there you go. So if you don't see me on the weekends, that's what happened. You'll see me at 4 o'clock. So speaking of weekends, our guests today were my first 2 producers on the weekends.
That's right.
Mr. Noah Richard and Mrs. Kelsey Mattingly.
Ms.
Oh,
Not
you're right. I
Mrs..
married her off already. Well,
I know.
That's one thing. Afterwards, she said, "Oh, I forgot to tell people, about her search for a boyfriend." So there you go. Keep that in mind.
Oh, gosh.
So they are. I think the millennials of the station is what
They
I've
are
labeled them
so
as.
young. I don't feel old all the time, but when I'm around them, I definitely do. But they're so much fun, and they're so smart, so good at their jobs for their age, but just even like regardless of their age as well. They're amazing.
Just sponges, willing to come in and learn.
They are.
A bit sassy.
Oh,
I
yes.
think you get that too. At certain points, this podcast will go off the rails, but I really enjoyed it.
This is going to be the most editing you've had to do.
This will be the most editing. Yeah, that's the other thing. I think the entire time we've done this so far, no one has let fly any curse words until today. So I'll take care of that.
And we won't say which one.
No, it was actually
not important.
It really wasn't a bad one. It's one you could, I think, get away with in a PG-13 movie. So I'll put it that way.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, with this being the station podcast, it's probably best to make sure those.
So
don't make
they
air.
were your producers first. Now they are my
They
producers.
were now they're yours. I work with
Yes.
you every day, and they talk about that, about the culture in the morning newsroom.
Yep. So this should be a fun episode. Excited for you to listen. Here we go.
Oh, the giggles have already started. So Kelsey's hasn't slept all night.
It's a necessary evil. We knew it was going to be this way. I just didn't know how quickly it would go downhill.
We had mentioned that we were going to have a couple on the podcast, but we thought it'd be Matthew and Angela. But instead, it's Kelsey and Noah.
We're close to a marriage.
Not an actual couple,
Not
by
an
the
actual
way.
couple.
We're basically married.
But they're kind of a dynamic duo. I feel like you guys very much usually get referred to in the same sentence. It's always Kelsey and Noah.
Oh, for sure.
Why?
Well, I don't know, because I used to hate him.
We're going with this story already.
Let's go in. Let's get into it. I knew this part. I knew this.
Well, we used to have class together in college, and Noah was, like, very studious.
That's a
And, like-
nice word. Thank you for that.
Yeah, but,
So he was a nerd.
yeah,
Okay.
big time. So I came into class. I did not know who he was. So a bunch of us had not taken our quiz on time. A bunch of us has in everyone but Noah and his friend. Very clear on that. And so we were all just basically sitting there helping each other. And Noah just looks over and says, well, some of us did it on time like we're supposed to. And I said, oh, did you?
Oh, no.
And I just stared at him and I was like, I hate this dude so much. And then when I came in on my first day, I was like, oh, God. It's
I don't
him.
remember this interaction.
He
at
doesn't.
all.
But I,
For him,
Yeah,
was just
'cause it
another
happened to
day.
you all the
That's right,
time.
yeah. For him, it was just
Sounds
another day of
normal to me.
being superior.
Right.
I was just already fed up that day. And then that happened. I was like, nope.
Oh,
will not keep
Noah.
that.
Why do you have to be so responsible?
Right?
Yeah, Noah, how dare you do your work that nobody else did?
On
I'm
time.
Sorry.
But now look at us.
All right, so we will back it up. You two, I guess, do you think you two are kind of the thought of as the millennials at the station? Is that why everybody's
I'm
just...
We're definitely the most
Literally.
Are they Gen
irresponsible.
Xers?
I'm literally the
No,
youngest.
they're not
person
Gen
who
X.
works
Gen
here.
X is older than me. We're talking... I'm
Oh,
just-
wait. What's after?
Gen Z is like 96,
Yeah.
97 later. So
You're
I'm
close,
the
though.
cutoff.
No, you're right at the
I'm the
cutoff.
youngest person who works here.
Very young. Very young.
So, I guess we'll get started. I interviewed Kelsey years ago when she was still in high school. When she was doing she was gathering backpacks for kids who were less fortunate. Well, okay, that's one way to...
Kelsey just whispered, those were dark times.
I
don't know if you
So I
can
met
hear it
a
or
young-
Looks only.
a young proto Kelsey. So that's how I first met her. And then Noah, I met him when he came in and anchored on the week, or not anchored, produced
Yes,
the weekend
I
show.
anchored.
So you all worked with Victor before. Now they're my producers.
Yes.
So you broke them in for me.
They've got to experience both of us.
Well,
Yeah,
no, I
you
mean,
poor
I started when
things.
Michelle was here. You,
Oh,
Yeah.
you're
Oh,
right.
you weren't even
You're
here.
right. Yeah, I joined the show while you were still producing.
so I broke you in.
Oh.
Oh.
I might cut that part out. So,
Oh gosh.
so let's.
That was a little
I was trying to go back. How did you all get your starts? In the news business. How did you decide that this was something that interests you? Kelsey, you'll go first. You look like you're just dying to talk
Come
about
on
this.
now.
No. Well, I was a print major, so I'm going to be 100% honest. I did not know this was a job.
Oh.
And ironically enough, I babysat for Michelle, who used to work here.
Michelle Chamberlain, my former weekend morning co-anchor.
Yeah, so she used to work here, and I babysat for her, and she would just tell me all the time, like, well, have you ever thought of being a producer, blah, blah, blah. I was like, I don't know what that means. So she kind of explained it to me. I was like, okay, cool, sounds good.
I didn't even know this.
Yeah, so I applied and came in for my interview, and don't really know
Somehow
what I
got the job.
said. But
And instantly regretted it when she saw Noah.
But-
I'm kidding. I'm
How
kidding. But
rude.
look at you two
He
now.
taught me everything I know because I did not know anything. I want to be very clear about that. I did not know anything.
I mean, we all had to start there.
Oh yeah.
True.
So-
But you're from the area. You're from Rockcastle County,
Oh,
the Big
yeah.
Rock.
Oh,
So
yeah.
proud.
Go Rock.
So Noah, tell us how you got your start. Now, are you from the area? Because I don't even know where you. I know where. Obviously, I know where Kelsey went to high school because I interviewed her while she was in high school. But
Yeah, I'm from the area. I'm from Adair County, which is like 2 hours south of Lexington. It's in the Louisville TV market, though. So I never grew up watching Bill or anything like that. So I got into journalism. I always wanted to do. I was always curious and wanted to do something like that, but I didn't know what producing was until like a summer program. And my mentor was like, you should do producing. I'm like, what is that? He's like, well, you get to be the boss, and you don't have to be on camera. I'm like, sold.
That's
Perfect.
That's
Pretty good
Noah.
description. Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
I never thought of it that way. You guys tell us what to do, and then yeah, you don't have to worry about random
And
strangers
sometimes you listen.
sending you.
And sometimes
hateful
we
emails.
listen.
Ooh, I got a great email this week. That I told you
gosh.
about, didn't I?
No.
Woo.
The lady who said I should shave because I look
Yes.
slightly sinister, which I kind of liked. I kind of liked the idea of looking
Do not shave.
a little
Absolutely
sinister.
not.
Well, I'm about 15 pounds heavier than I'd like to be for shaving anyway. Like I
Only
need to drop
slightly.
some weight.
I'm
but-
so jealous because guys can have a beard and
Right?
cover up their double chins,
Oh,
and
yeah.
girls do not
nice.
have
Just like Karen
anything
hanging out over
but
here.
contouring.
Karen is the name of Kelsey's double chin.
She follows me everywhere, and it's so rude.
Oh,
She gets in all my
gosh.
pictures, but
No, have you thought about a goatee?
Oh God!
Oh,
why?
I think
you look
Why?
good with a
More
goatee.
sinister?
no, you
Yeah,
only need
if
to be
I'm-
slightly sinister.
Yeah,
Nothing
maybe
more.
if I'm like a 90s villain, I could be.
Right.
I
It's
could
like-
get a goatee.
You're a 2000s villain.
Okay.
No, I've had one before.
It was just an
I-
idea.
those-
Jeez.
It's a bad idea.
Those were dark
Immediately shut
times.
down.
That was the darkest timeline. Me and my goatee.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You
so
had one?
oh yeah, I've had everything.
Oh.
I had mutton
I'm-
chops one time. I've had like.
Do you have pictures of this?
I'm sure I do.
Oh, good.
Anyway, so Noah, you went to UK as well,
Yeah, we both went to UK. Yep.
and so then how did you wind up here at WKYT?
Well, I started interning in my senior year and met Robert, like our news director, the semester prior at some dinner, and kind of just started with that. And then by the time my internship was over, I was offered a job, and so just stayed.
Boom, and you've
There
been
you
here
go.
ever since.
Yep.
And so you guys both started on the weekends, obviously at different times. Noah was here first, and Kelsey placed him.
I did.
Yeah.
Taught me everything I know.
So then,
So
what
sweet.
what was that like? Kind of because that's one of the things, especially when people come in on the weekends here as producers. If they don't have previous experience, they'll kind of be shown the ropes a little bit, and then you're on your own.
It's really trial by fire.
Yeah.
The weekend mornings are, but I would say that it's not the most fun shift at all, but it really does make you a better producer, I think, in the long run. Because you have to make the decisions yourself. You don't have any managers to rely on. The anchors don't get in until an hour before show.
Or you text Noah at 3 a.m. and say, I don't know what I need to do right now, freaking out and panicking. And he's like, first of all, why are you texting me at 3 a.m.? I'm asleep."
How are you even awake?
Well,
He's always awake.
I'm always awake. But when you're on this shift and you work 11 p.m. to 7 a.m., like sleeping until 3 a.m. is like sleeping until noon for normal people.
Oh, so
No, Carl, he
I don't
doesn't do what I
understand.
do on the weekends. He doesn't have fun.
I do have.
That's going to be, of course, now that I'm
Maybe I'm
during
still
the week,
awake,
I won't
okay?
I won't have that weird sleep schedule.
I'm
It's
so
gonna be-
excited. We're gonna
I'm
actually have to
excited
like hang out.
We'll talk about that. Yeah. Well,
That
we'll
sounded
finally
like a
have,
no.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah, we'll sure.
We'll
No, I mean,
discuss
I didn't want to take away from their time during the podcast. We'll talk about it afterwards.
Okay, sorry, Dad.
But that's one of the things when you're working that shift on the weekends. You know, when people say they want to do stuff on the weekends, you're just kind of like,
I'm like,
look,
I'm free for brunch on Monday,
Exactly.
Tuesday, Wednesday. Pick one.
and you're like, or
Yeah.
during the weekend I can show up maybe from like 4 to 5 p.m. and that's about it.
that's
and
that's
then
pushing it.
yeah, and then
I know.
because even if you go out, there's a good chance you're just gonna fall asleep at the restaurant.
Well, that was the worst for me is because I graduated a semester early. So when I started working here, all of my friends were in their last semester of college. And I'm working the weekends. So it's just like everyone's having fun. And then I'm sleeping during the day. And like, everyone be quiet, please. I need to sleep.
Aw.
And then I would just see them all having fun on the weekends. And it was very sad.
And I started while I was still in college. So I was
Yeah.
working full time during my last semester. And so everyone was like getting ready for graduation and doing fun stuff. I'm like, oh, okay. I had to take off for my graduation. I had to take a day off to
Oh
graduate.
my gosh. But that's really awesome.
Yeah.
For the
Yeah.
people
Job
that
security.
spent so much time after college just wandering aimlessly, it's
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah, so be thankful.
Mm-hmm.
Be
Oh,
thankful.
for
I sent
sure.
out
Peace
so
and
many
blessings.
tapes.
I was gonna say I was waiting tables at Red Lobster whenever I got my first job.
You
already,
get free
so it
crab
was-
legs. That could be worth it.
Free. Essentially, if somebody ordered something and then it ended up being wrong, we would descend upon that like a pack of hyenas. People would be like, mistake, and then you see this big bowl of fettuccine with shrimp, and everybody just run over and grab a fork
I
and
know.
start going to
That's
town.
true in every restaurant.
And cheddar biscuits. I ate so many cheddar biscuits.
That would have been an issue for me.
It
I
was
wish we
an
had
issue for
some
me.
right now. Or any
So.
food would be good.
True.
Anyway, well, we've got the snack machine downstairs, depending on whether or not the buttons
We're
are
terrible
up.
hosts.
Yeah.
We didn't provide them with any.
Rude.
Well, we all know that snack machine hasn't been filled up in 3
I know.
years.
I know,
sad.
it's a little terrifying.
I asked Kristen if she would be on the show now because we talked to Hillary and Lauren. You know, we're knocking out all the recent mothers, and she said she would only do it if I baked her.
Is that like suggesting something?
She said she'd only do it if I baked her some cookies first. So
Oh my gosh.
yeah, but
Well,
They're
She
cute.
has a hard bargain.
so when I
Gosh,
bake
she
some cookies,
does.
I'll bring you all some too to
I
go
want
along
to
with
do.
it.
I want to do a podcast with Kristen. I would listen to
oh
that.
gosh, yes.
She's so funny.
Yeah, what's that like the I guess the culture in the newsroom? Because that's the other thing you got to. It's definitely an interesting workplace because you've got a lot of big personalities. You know, one thing I've kind of noticed, it's like everybody kind of wherever they went to high school, they were probably one of the more vocal people there, and then they
True.
all kind of gather in one spot.
More annoying people. Either or semantics.
You got a lot of people used to being the center of attention. A lot of people who just want to let other people talk.
At Noah.
I'm just not
What is
gonna
that
say
like for you?
anything.
No, I'm just kidding. Let's keep interrupting. Okay, go ahead. So,
The overnights, it's a free for all.
It's interesting.
Like,
it just depends.
For like the first 3 hours, it's just me and Kelsey, and sometimes the weekend morning producer now Damon, and it's just
He doesn't get a word in. Let's be honest.
No.
Yeah, Damon's so quiet.
Damon does
Nice
not.
guy. He's just
when
like
he
a-
talks, but when he talks, he's funny. Like he'll
Right.
throw in a joke, and we're like, "Where did that come from?" He's like, "Well, you never let me talk."
Aw, Damon.
And I'm like, "Well, we suck." It's
For
like,
like the first 2 hours, we're so unproductive.
don't say that.
Oh gosh.
I mean, we get
you're
stuff
still waking up,
done.
though, right? I mean, at that point, you're
Right,
We
we're still
are
waking up,
productive.
but like we're writing stuff, and we're rewriting stuff, and
But then
trying to get the show
once-
done.
Once 2 o'clock hits, and we're like, "There's an hour till Shelby comes in."
All right, so speaking of, I remember when Shelby did our podcast, you all were a topic of conversation with him.
For the talk of the town.
I will say, you know, Shelby's personality has come out so much more, at least for me, since you guys have been here.
We ask the most awkward questions.
We just don't have a filter.
constantly.
So what is it? What is it?
I
So
don't know.
We're
what are your
fun,
impressions
okay?
of
That's
Shelby
all.
when you first started compared to now?
I thought he was not a very nice person.
Well, the funny thing about it is Kelsey will still occasionally text or Snapchat or send something to me about how upset she is with Shelby, but she'll include him on it.
Oh, yeah.
So that he knows.
So
She's not going to talk about it
So
behind
I
his back.
make
She's just
sure-
like, look, I'm so angry.
I make sure he knows. We get in a few tips.
Tips.
little-
That's kind.
A
Yeah.
little
Well, we have
scuffle or two.
a group chat where
Shh,
it's
don't tell
literally
anybody.
called Shelby Sucks.
I think
Oh, that-
He's
never mind.
also in it.
Oh, I'm not part of that one. Okay, never mind.
Shelby- He's in that too.
We
Shelby
also have
is in the
one
Shelby
with
Sucks.
Jim that says kids that hate Shelby.
Oh my gosh.
But I don't actually hate him. Like when I first started working
He's great.
here,
You know, Shelby's mom is one of the main fans of the podcast.
I love
I'm just
him
letting you
so
know.
much.
Please cut that part out. He is a very, very nice boy.
boy, he's a grown man
I
with
know.
children. But anyway, when I first started working here, I never thought he was mean. I guess because he could tell I was terrified.
To be
work
fair,
here.
someone has to rein you all in. That's
Yeah.
the thing. I could imagine
But
being in
he
his
does.
shoes.
He's got a tough job.
He doesn't though.
Oh.
We know.
No, he doesn't at all.
It's like who is doing the most yelling? It's probably me. Like who has who's like the meanest?
Right. You're the most outwardly aggressive towards Shelby. I'm more like passive aggressive.
You're inwardly aggressive. We
Oh.
can always tell when you're mad, and you just won't say anything. And then I'm over here just like screaming at him, and I sit right next to him, so he can tell based on how I look. He's like, "Oh, this is gonna be the
This
kind
is
of
gonna
day
be
we're
a fun
having."
day.
Oh my gosh.
Or when he walks in, we're just like, Shelby, don't talk to us.
Oh yeah.
So there you go. That's how the morning shows get made. All of you who are wondering about the
We
magic
need like
behind
a
the
little
scenes.
like
It's
a
a big-
documentary style.
It's
day
a
in the
big
life.
dysfunctional family.
It is.
But
It is a family. That's the thing.
Yes.
Like you guys, you say you
That's
I mean,
true.
all
as
of
angry
us,
as you
though.
were at Shelby at certain points. He's kind of like your big brother
We
that
get
keeps you in
over it.
line.
Oh yeah, we get over it. I'll be.
So-
That's for sure.
There's Shelby, who comes in a little later. I guess Krista's already there, right?
Oh, we love Chris.
love her.
Yeah, everybody loves Krista.
Shout out to
She-
those overnight snack runs.
Oh, she does?
Yeah.
Yeah, she goes and gets us food sometimes.
Oh.
Even if she
Aw.
doesn't have to go do anything, I'll just be like, Krista,
Oh
like,
my gosh.
what do you want? Where do you want me to go?
'Cause, I mean, sometimes there's like big lulls in the night and we just get hungry and we don't
Like, I
have a
need
very
12
good snack machine.
cheeseburgers.
12? Are we talking White Castle or like
Usually
Well,
it's like cookout
Steak
or
and
steak
Shake, Wendy's,
Yeah.
sometimes Wendy's, Taco Bell. Those are like the three
Yeah.
places that are open.
When I worked the morning shift, I remember at one point I gained about 15 pounds.
It's so easy.
So that's my.
It happens really
because
easily.
That was
you
me.
nothing good is ever open. I mean, nothing healthy is ever open.
Right.
Plenty of stuff that's good is open.
Yeah.
But then you just eat it all, and then when you get home, you're too tired to work out, and you just take a nap, and then you fall asleep.
Your body just doesn't know when to eat or how much to eat,
when
how
to
many
sleep.
times to eat.
Exactly.
Yeah, it really messes you up.
Yeah, you
for
replace
sure.
sleep with food.
We've been better at that though.
Yeah, we've been good.
Yeah,
Got
you
a
guys
gym
have been doing
membership
really good.
together.
Oh, nice.
So we go to the gym after work.
We spend so much time together. It's not even
Yeah,
funny.
it's not healthy.
Yeah.
How
Which
you
is
do
why
it.
when it hits the weekends, Noah will be like, "Hey, do you want to do this?" I'm like, "No,
No.
I cannot.
No, I don't
I've
wanna
seen
be
you
around
every
We have
day
to
this
set
week."
boundaries.
I was like, "I can't, or I'm gonna hate you on Monday if I'm
you
around
do
you."
anyway, but
I know, but not. I would hate you for real.
Oh,
I can't
jeez.
handle that.
So,
It's just too much.
Kelsey, what was it like for you when you started working and you're surrounded by all of these people that you... Oh, sorry, Andrea just pulled out my random forehead. Yeah, I've got
No,
a
I
random...
didn't pull it out, and it's
Get it.
gonna drive me nuts.
I've got a
gosh.
random hair that grows out of my
It's
forehead.
huge.
Yep, there you go.
Okay, sorry. Oh my gosh.
What'd you... I'm a werewolf. I have
a
just random
werewolf.
hairs that... Yeah, a weird wolf. Yeah, I have a random hair that grows just that one spot in my forehead. I don't know what that's...
It was like a long grandma mole hair.
I mean, at some point, I'm going to have hair coming out of my ears. I'm going to really need you to let me know.
At compliments. It's the best feature.
Everybody has those weird hairs. It's fine.
Do they?
So, Kelsey, you start working in the newsrooms with people that you've watched. I'm guessing you know your entire life.
Yeah.
What was that like coming in? Who are you most intimidated by? That's one of our
Bill Bryant, 100%. Because I've watched him since I was little, so I always knew who he was, and because we always watched 27 growing up. But yeah, I started working here and realized that I was going to be producing shows with Bill. So not only was I intimidated, but my whole family was so starstruck. They were like, "Oh my gosh!" And my mom would ask me all the time.
Kelsey's family.
She was like, "How's Bill?" Like, and then I'll tell her things that I say to like Shelby or Andrea, because I talk very differently to them than I do to Bill. And so I'll say something I say to them, and she's like, "You did not say that to Bill Bryant." It's like, "No, mother, I didn't." And he kind of gets like offended
Yeah, he doesn't
Bill,
like
yeah.
it because we have too much respect for Bill to
Yeah.
to say
treat him as one
to
of the
be the
gang.
heathens
Yeah.
that we
Well, I
are
feel
in
like-
front of
yeah.
I
him.
feel like we're getting a little looser with Bill. Like when we go down to the studio after the shows
Maybe
are over
you
during
guys
the
are.
Fox.
You're
Like,
still...
you know, we're talking to Andrea and Jim.
well, they'll start saying stuff that I've said, and I'm like, "Shut up! You're not
But
saying
he
it."
loves
Bill.
it.
I
Bill
do love him.
loves Kelsey. For some reason, Bill, I don't know. You must, and he loves Noah too. I'm just saying.
Let them brag on me for a second.
I'm
please.
just
It's
saying.
not
Noah,
all
calm
about
down.
you.
He always says that he feels like he's known her. You know what I mean? Like there's always been her type of personality in the newsroom at some
Makes
point.
no sense, and it makes me very sorry for everyone who's ever had to work here.
There's only one Kelsey as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, hair flip, thank you. I'm so honored. Or is that a bad
sweet.
thing? I don't
So
know.
sweet.
Let's take it as you
Take
will.
it as you will.
All right, and then there's Kristen, who you guys love.
Love Kristen.
I was terrified of Kristen.
Yes.
I kind of was too.
Like,
Well, she
Why?
interviewed me
so
before I
sweet.
started working here too. Like the week before I interviewed here, she interviewed me for Big Blue Madness Camp Out because I worked for Sleep Outfitters. So she interviewed me there, and I was just so intimidated by her, just because I was. And then I started working here. Still was intimidated by her for a few weeks.
Did
but
she
then
remember interviewing you?
Kind of. She said, "Yeah." I mean, she remembered interviewing someone with brown hair.
there's a picture of Kristen interviewing Kelsey in
At my
Kelsey's
house.
bedroom.
Oh, that's
My
awesome.
boss gave it to me as like my going away present, and Kristen is like in the picture, and I'm just like, "Oh, our first picture together." You did not know me, and I was so scared of you, even though you are half my size. But she's so intimidating.
She is.
I was intimidated by Bill when I first started too, but I was really intimidated by Kristen because she comes in and she just like gets to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like it's like
She's very serious.
She's
She
very
doesn't
serious,
announce, yeah.
and like when she gets in the morning, like she doesn't like want to talk that much unless Shelby wants to tell her a story.
Yeah, she only talks to Shelby. Rude.
But
Probably because they both have kids. I feel so left out.
Ah, kids.
but
People
I would
just
always
talk
say like
about
good
'em.
morning, Chris, and she was just like good morning, and that's
Nothing
always
else.
said to each other until I started like doing Monday through Friday. Where like I got to spend more time with her, like she kind of got used to us, and
Well, yeah, now that we're together all the time, she thinks we're hilarious.
I don't
which
know
is-
if she thinks we're hilarious or she feels sorry for us.
I think both.
Yeah, it could be pity laughs. It
I
could be
think
just
we
like, oh
both.
my goodness.
It's
these
Well,
not
two.
pity laughs.
Me, it's like I'm concerned about your well-being laughs. And then when it's me and Noah, she's like, "Wow, you two are idiots,"
Yeah, I mean,
in good fun. But me, it's mostly concern as a mother.
That was one of our favorite pastimes on the weekends on the morning show. We'd pull up Snapchat and be like, okay, let's see what Kelsey got into
Oh, no.
last night. And then sometimes we just text her stuff, and she'd be like, "Oh, I just need to delete that."
Yep.
Oh my
They're
gosh.
like my parents, except not my parents, because my mom would never follow me on Snapchat. She knows better.
Oh my
You should not let
gosh.
her do that.
So people are worried about your well-being, but you've survived so far.
I'm doing great for a
Yeah.
for a 23-year-old. I think.
I think a lot of people would be surprised to learn that, a 23-year-old, what are you, 24?
24.
That's the people
people
writing the
behind the
news in
news,
the
yeah.
morning. You guys are so young, but you do a great job.
I don't know if they would be impressed or concerned. These people
They
are.
should be impressed. There's
But that's
hope
the
for
thing. A lot of
future.
people think of younger people as being uninformed, or whereas you guys, I mean, you keep on
Yeah.
top of everything.
in your face.
Well, okay,
And-
there you go. That's what I was getting.
And we're both from the area,
Yeah.
so we know most of what's going on. Like
Yeah.
the places we talk about, they're not foreign to us. Like it's home, and so I think that goes a long way. Like if someone came in from out of state or somewhere else to do our jobs, I don't know if they would get it as much as we do because we're from here.
Well, except I didn't know that
Oh, here we go.
Maria and Richmond. So I didn't know what cities and counties were until about a month ago.
You're from Rockcastle County.
Hold
You're
on.
right next to Maria and
Let me,
Richmond.
This is
no.
my favorite.
Let me
Alright,
make
go
this
ahead.
clear.
Yeah.
So something had happened, like a wreck or something in Madison County, and we kept calling it Madison County. And I asked Shelby, I was like, well, was it Berea or Richmond? And he said, it was Madison County. I said, but which one? He said, do you not know how, cities work? I was like, what do you mean? And he was like, cities don't make up the whole county. Didn't know.
Oh, no.
I've been lied
No,
to my
you know
whole
what? No,
life.
I can't laugh at you too much for that, because I remember when my first day of college at good old Eastern Kentucky University, people started talking about where they were from, and all these people were like, I'm from this and such county, I'm from this such, and then somebody else was like, I'm from a city, and their teacher basically said, yeah, you can tell you're from Kentucky if you list a county.
That's true.
And if you list a city, you're from somewhere else, because Kentucky has so many counties
Yeah.
Yeah.
that people identify more with their county than they do with their city. And so at that point, it was kind of like, oh, it was like this light went on that Kentucky was odd. And so,
Well, no
That's
one
okay.
Shelby like to
to remind you of that.
I bring it
Of
up because
course.
it's hilarious.
We each have an embarrassing story about us. that,
Noah didn't know what an Amber Alert was.
I knew what an Amber Alert was.
No, he didn't. He
Okay,
did not.
I knew an Amber Alert was when a child goes missing. I just didn't know if they had to be in danger, or an abduction, or if they were just missing.
He
okay?
thought it wasn't. I was like, boy, what
It's
did you
not
think
that serious,
this
is
was?
it?
Oh,
I was like,
gosh.
what do you think an
It's
Amber
okay.
Alert is?
It's
So we
okay.
bring it up probably every day, I think. That gets brought up more than the whole city county situation because it's
Amber
so
Alert
much
was more
easier.
recent.
What are your favorite types of news events to produce for?
Oh gosh, anything Frankfurt government related.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm all about that.
It was the morning of the special session. We
Oh.
went hard.
We were on.
We went hard to the
we
news.
did.
We
They were
both
so
came in and we
into
were
it.
just
We were hyped. We were like, nobody mess around. We got stuff done. And my
Right.
brother-in-law was like, I've never been more proud. Because he
Aw.
works in Frankfurt.
And that morning, I think I wrote 2 or 3 reporter hits.
Oh,
it was
for
just
sure.
give me a minute. I'm just went
no
and
reporters
started.
had to write their stuff. They were just like, okay, that's
I bet they were
cool.
thrilled.
Because I don't think Shelby was there either.
And here's
No,
also
we're
Bill
late.
wasn't there.
Oh,
So you
no.
guys handled it, and I think he was surprised how well you guys did, because he's Mr. Politics, but you guys, no problem whatsoever.
That
On
was a
top of
fun
it.
morning.
Yeah,
That
they
was
did
fun
great.
morning. I wish we could do that all the time.
That's still one
All
of my
stars.
favorite 6 minutes I've ever produced.
So Noah, the other day you got to go to New Orleans and kind of teach some college students who are wanting to get into the news business. What was that experience like for you?
It was a lot of fun. So, Robert, our news director, called me up. He was like, "Do you want to go to New Orleans?" I'm like, "Sure." He was like, "Do you want to know what it's about?" "No, I'm good." But it was this cool thing with our parent company, Great Television, that I got to go to New Orleans to Loyola University and just work with their broadcast people and teach them what producing is about, because a lot of people go into journalism, into school, and they just want to be on air, or they want to be personalities.
Just no reporting.
Right, and so producers I feel like are kind of the unsung heroes, and so they wanted people to learn about what a producer does. So it was a lot of fun. I mean, they were awesome. So hopefully.
And you also got to, I guess, inform them of the things to expect that you didn't know to expect.
Right, and it's really cool. They wanted younger producers. Shelby wanted to go, but Robert was like, "You're too old."
Oh,
Yes.
No, they wanted people 2 or 3 years out of college to have been in the business for at least a little bit, but also they were close enough to the age of the college students to be honest and relatable. And so, yeah, I was like, ask me legitimately anything, I will tell you. And
what were some of the questions, like some of the interesting questions?
They were honestly fascinated by the hours we work.
Oh,
they
yeah.
were they were like, so what do you do? I was like, well, I do the morning news. They're like, oh, so you go in like maybe 4 o'clock in the morning? I'm like, that's cute.
That's hilarious.
I'm like, no, I go in at 11 p.m. They're like, are you serious? I'm like, it's a job. If you want one, you're going to have to do stuff you don't want to do.
That's true.
But they were like, oh, okay, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's you'll scare away the people who aren't ready for it.
Right.
It's not for everybody.
Well, I didn't really consider doing mornings. Like I love doing the mornings now, not the hours, because it's just a really fun show, and I love working with Bill and Andrea and Jim. But when Robert first like offered me the job, and he was like, "Well, you want to do weekend mornings?" I'm just like, "What does that even mean?" It's like, "Please explain." I'm like, "Okay, I guess I'll try."
Yeah, he told me.
2 years later,
Here
still
we
here.
are.
There you are. You
Here
all
we
survived
are.
so far. We're proud of you.
at least we're Monday through Friday.
Yeah, they're never gonna let us leave.
2 of the rising stars at WKYT.
Yes.
Oh, killing it.
All right, well, we're about to finish up here. Anything else? Any words of wisdom you all like to add?
I'm sorry.
Okay. That seems appropriate.
Don't let your mom listen to this, Kelsey.
Oh, J-Matt's
She
gonna
will.
listen to it
She
for
will.
sure. Shout out J-Matt.
And we love you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
So there you are, Kelsey and Noah. Some of our favorite people here at the station.
Oh my gosh, wild. I hang out with them a lot outside of the station, which make a lot of bad decisions outside of the station alongside those two. Terrible influences. Just kidding. I love them both so much, so much. We actually have planned a weekend getaway with Kelsey's family.
Oh, that's a
They're
commitment.
wonderful.
Well, her dad has a brewery, right? In
Yes.
Louisville?
Yes.
Wow, that's exciting.
Old Lou Brew is what it's called, and I've been there, and it's wonderful. So if you're ever in Louisville, check it out.
All right,
It's really
to know.
good.
Good to keep in mind. Well, I hope everybody
Such good
enjoyed
kids.
that.
Good kids.
I had fun, and you will actually hear both of them. Well, you'll definitely hear Noah next week, and you'll hear a smidgen of Kelsey as she works.
She's our fact checker.
'Cause next week we are doing our Oscar preview show, so you all can kind of, if you don't really know any of the Oscar movies, it'll kind of catch you up on those. It turns out we really didn't know much of them either.
I knew nothing.
And I just seen the ones that had superheroes in them.
Yeah,
But
so-
Noah has seen a lot of them, so he helped us through that, and we kind of know, who we're picking on all that kind of stuff. There we go. So that
All
was
right.
this week's.
Let's do our recommendations. You
Okay.
said you have some, so
I
go
do.
for it.
I've thought about it ahead of time. My recommendation this week is a Netflix show that I binged all 8 episodes in one night. My wife and I, but they ended up only being like 22 minutes each, so it was, about 4.5, 5 hours. But we had the night off, and the girl was down, and we just burned through the entire thing. It's called Russian Doll.
Okay.
It stars Natasha Lyonne. She's, I believe, one of the writers and producers, and then Amy Poehler is also involved.
Uh-huh.
She's not in it, but she's one of the people involved. And this isn't a spoiler since it happens within the first 15 minutes. She is at her 36th birthday party, and you kind of meet this cast of characters, and as she's leaving, she gets killed.
Oh.
And she comes back to right at her birthday party, like in the bathroom looking in the mirror, which is basically how the show starts.
So it's before her death.
Well, and then she thought she just had like a weird dream or something, and then she dies again.
Oh.
And then she
Kinda like
pops
Happy
back.
Death Day?
It's almost like Happy Death Day or Groundhog's Day, that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. So then it's her dying over and over in interesting
my
ways of trying to
gosh.
figure out why this is happening.
Or how she can stop it.
There you go. That's it.
Okay, I like
so
it.
And there's something that happens in either episode 3 or 4 that was, because we were enjoying it. We were kind of like, okay, this is pretty good. And then something happens in one of the episodes that we looked at each other like, oh no, we're just gonna watch this whole thing tonight. We're just gonna finish the entire thing.
Nice.
Because it just So that is my recommendation. Russian Doll on Netflix. It is it's very good.
All right. You've got me intrigued. I think I
go.
might listen to it now. Okay, unlike you, I did not do any planning, or I put zero thought into
Mine
my
wasn't
favorite
really
thing
planning.
this
I
week.
just thought about what I'd done this week. and that
All
was
right,
kinda
so let me think. You may have to edit
You said
this
it might
little
be a
bit.
food item?
Hold on. Actually, yes. Okay.
Okay, here
we go.
I wish you all could see the excitement in her face when she just turned
I'm just
away.
excited that I
and
have
she just
something
turned
to
back and said,
say.
"Actually, yes," and it was just this look of pure joy.
Okay, and this is going to freak you guys out for sure, so just get ready. This is my second year that I have emceed an event called the Wild Game Dinner. and there's always some really interesting food items available at this dinner. Like very strange things. I think I had rattlesnake last year, tortoise, just things I would never have in real life. So it was so much fun. My brother came with me this year, and it was in Nicholasville this year at the R.J. Corman Hangar, which was wonderful for me. It was like 10 minutes from my house.
Close.
Probably the most exotic thing this year. And Bill had been joking about it all morning, and I was shocked to see it was actually there because one of Bill's good friends was also going to the event. Camel.
What?
I ate camel sloppy joes.
Oh my goodness.
It was delicious.
Yeah?
Shockingly delicious. Everybody was terrified.
Did it have a lot of water in it?
No.
Because they carry water in their hump?
No hump.
No, were you eating the hump part, or is it like muscles?
I don't know
or
I don't know what I was eating. Honestly, I didn't ask too many questions.
Wow.
I probably should have.
So camel, that's
But-
your recommendation, camel sloppy joes.
I don't know. It's probably not easy to find camel around here. But if
see
you're
that.
ever in an area where you can try camel, do it.
There you go. It reminds me of, there's a Brazilian steakhouse. They're all over the place, but we went to one in Nashville one time. Some friends and I were traveling for a Magic the Gathering tournament.
Of course.
So we stopped at this Brazilian steakhouse, and they would bring around just your normal types of meat, but at one point they bring around chicken hearts, rattlesnake sausage, wild boar, and some other stuff, and we were just...
You have to try it.
That's the thing. I tried at least one of everything.
Yeah.
I didn't necessarily... Turns out eating heart is not for me. The wild boar was delicious. I had a whole lot of that. Turns out it's just pig. But although I still feel... have I ever talked to you about my guilt for eating pigs because they are as smart as dogs?
Oh my gosh!
Did
Why
you
would
know
you
that?
say that?
Yeah, they are. They're very intelligent animals. And
Well,
so,
what is
when
it?
they're...
What is the book about?
Oh, Upton Sinclair's the Jungle?
No, where the pigs start walking upright, and then they start leading the whole farm and everything like that. And they're basically about
Animal
Hitler.
Farm.
Is it Animal Farm? Okay, yeah, that's what I thought it was, but I wasn't 100% sure. But yeah, they're super intelligent in that book. So I
Yeah,
guess
the one
that's
by Orwell, Animal
yes,
Farm.
yes.
Yeah, we, you and I, we just quit reading books altogether basically a few years
so
ago.
sad.
So
So sad. I think I read that in middle school, high school.
I
don't
keep meaning to
remember.
read books, but then I just pick my phone up and stare at it for 2 hours.
I hate how much time I waste on my phone. It's horrible.
I get the screen time report at the end of the week and I always just feel bad.
It's embarrassing.
Yeah. It's,
Well, I remember for a while, a few weeks in a row, it was just like, your usage is down like 2 hours. I was like, yeah.
I did it.
And then this week, I know I woke up and it's like, check out your usage this week. And I'm like, ooh, that's not good. That must mean it's more.
So there we go. We have our recommendations for this week. They include guilt for eating pork products, Camel Sloppy Joes, and Russian Doll on Netflix.
Sums it up very nicely.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.